So the funny thing that I've noticed is that many people spend their lives trying not to be weird, especially in the younger years. But in doing that, they just end up being like everyone else. And I was one of them. Don't get me wrong. Until I realized that trying to fit in was more so just hiding who I actually was. And by doing that, makes you feel ingenuous, makes you feel like something's off. Whether it was planning dates or posting content on Instagram or YouTube, for example, I was always trying to play it safe. I was always trying to do what I thought other people would like, rather than what I actually liked, rather than what I wanted, just so I would fit in and not stick out like a sore thumb. But the funny thing is, you get older and you realize people actually don't care. They don't care what you do, they don't care what you post. We just have something on us called the spotlight effect. We think everyone cares way more about us and thinks way more about us than they actually do. People might think about you for a second, but then that's it. They go back to overthinking about their own problems. They're too wrapped up in their own lives to even really notice yours. So, in knowing that, why would you put on an act to impress people that you don't really want to impress and they're not even taking notice of you anyway? So, you just gotta be yourself. Because the thing is, when you're not being your genuine self, people can feel it and you actually end up turning off the people that you would have had a connection with in the first place because they would not have seen the true you. How are they to know that you're actually like them and that you actually would have a connection with them if you're not being your true self? In my own life, I noticed this, and so I just stopped doing it, right? I stopped trying to play it safe. I stopped trying to fit in. I was happy to embrace my weird, if that's what you want to call it. And the way I did this was before ever doing anything, I asked myself a couple of questions. The first one was, do I actually want to do this? Or am I doing it just because I feel like I have to? Just because I feel like this is what society expects of me. And the next question is, which is probably the more powerful one, is what would I actually do if I wasn't afraid of being judged, if I wasn't afraid of sticking out? And then whatever answer comes to your head, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you think, oh my God, that's going to look so weird, just do it, man. Even if that's you're in the middle of a shopping mall and you want to dance to the music, do it. Why not? No one's going to remember it anyway, but you might remember it and it might be a great memory for you. It doesn't have to be large things. It can just be little small moments in life, and usually that's what it usually is. The little small things in life, and they will add up over time and really make a change if you become the person who actually embraces yourself and does those things. And it sounds really simple, but you will notice how things do actually add up over time. You'll begin to move differently. You'll begin to take more risks. You'll begin to listen to your gut more, which is super important. You'll start to try the activities and things that interest you, that pull you to want to do them, and start to say no to the ones that actually don't vibe with you all that much. A simple example might be maybe you've got past the point of wanting to go clubbing every night and you actually want to go to ballet or you actually want to go gardening or horse riding. I'm just thinking of random shit off the top of my head here, but you get what I mean, right? You'll start to choose hobbies, goals, clothes, anything really that are actually way more aligned with you, who you want to become, and who you're striving to be. Once you stop filtering yourself and stop worrying about what other people think of you, whose opinion, of course, will never actually matter as much as your own, you'll naturally begin to move with more confidence because you're actually just embracing who you truly are rather than playing a facade, rather than playing a role, because you're showing up as yourself, one of one. The person that people actually want to see, the person that people will actually connect with. So pretty recently for me, maybe last year it was, I felt this really strong pull to go to Asia solo. And to some people that may be very strange. Some people that might even be reckless, like going across the other side of the world. You don't know anyone, all on your own. Why would you do that? Well, I just couldn't shake the feeling that that's what I wanted to do. I had this sense of adventure inside of me, and I really wanted to realize that, bring it into the world, and not live with the regret of just not doing that. And when you begin to take action like this, you truly begin to see how much control, maybe not control, but how much freedom you actually have in this world. How, the invisible shackles, if you want to call them that, that you're living by, the predetermined fate, the predetermined route, the path, whatever you want to call it, that is laid out for you. You don't have to do it. You can choose to do whatever you want in your life. Now, that 7 month trip did not just shape me because of what I saw, but also who I became, putting myself in extremely uncomfortable positions, exploring cities on my own. Bangkok, humongous. Jesus Christ, having to entertain myself, having to force myself to go out, meet strangers, like all these little things are building blocks to build your character. It's character building, of course it is. And then because you do it once, you realize you can do it again. It wasn't so bad. And then now, for example, I recently just got back from Las Palmas, where I went for 2.5 weeks on my own. And I knew going, it was going to be fine because I'd already done Asia for so long. So my point being is that you can really do anything you want as long as you keep having the confidence to take the next step, to do that thing, to embrace it, whatever it is that you're feeling pulled to. Even if it seems weird to other people, if it's not weird to you, then just do it. Allow yourself the permission to do that. And that's really what I believe embracing your weird is all about. It's remembering that whatever those little things you want to do are, that you might hesitate because someone might judge you or try to stop you doing it because to them it would just be weird. Embracing your weird is just doing it anyway and getting the pleasure of doing that and building yourself up, your confidence up, because you have actually gone and done that thing for you, not for anyone else. So my question to you is, what would your life actually look like if you stopped playing it safe? If you stopped hiding and started to actually embrace whatever those little things you want to do are, or maybe big things as well, whatever your long-term goals are, what would happen if you actually started striving for them without the fear of failure, without the fear of being judged, without the fear of sticking out like a sore thumb? What would your life look like? And then what is your life going to look like if you don't do those things? Because the last thing you want is to be on your deathbed and just living with a shitload of regret, knowing that you didn't live the life you actually wanted to.